honestly, let's talk about it. There was this girl on Instagram. I thought she was rich. Girl was on back-to-back trips. Human hair, nails done, everything. She attended every event I ever wanted to go to. She was out with celebrities. Let's not even get started on the outfits, the handbags, everything. And it wasn't until I made friends with her friends. And honey, they weren't her friends. When I tell you the tea was hot, like shorty couldn't even afford gas. Gas, bro. They were literally complaining about her asking them for $20 because she was stranded. So shorty was just on a trip to Jamaica. I think the worst part for me was when they told me she only had like $3 in her bank account. But honestly, this was the reality check I needed. After that bubble burst for me, I really realized I was actually doing well in life. Now every time she posts, I'm just like because she'll really spend her last dollar on getting her Instagram posts and hair and like background, but she can't even afford to eat. Could it be me?
Okay, so I don't know about y'all, but I've noticed that there's a huge influx of broke-ass influencers on TikTok that are begging for money, and some of them even being involved in scams. Yesterday, I saw this TikToker who had almost 1 million subscribers or followers, and she was involved in a GoFundMe scam, and the GoFundMe got shut down. And it's just like, the problem with so many of these TikTokers is that, or any influencer, is that they're living above their means. And something that my grandma taught me as a kid that I'll never forget is she said, if you cannot buy something with cash in hand right now, then you cannot afford it. Or if the money isn't in your checking account right now, the full amount, you can't afford it. And it's like, I've seen so many scandals over the years of influencers, from YouTube or any, community that have gone broke because they start to live above their means. And you should never live above your means in life if you don't want to set yourself up for failure. Like, let's say an influencer makes $40,000 in, their first big payout month, right? And it starts to become consistent. Okay, great. But then they decide they want to go rent or lease an LA mansion for $15,000 a month, right? And just because they were making $40,000 a month consistently for a while, it doesn't mean that money is going to stay. Because life works in ebb and flows. Life works in patterns. It has ups and downs, and ups and downs. So learn firsthand from these influencers. Definitely do not live above your means. Have a goal in life, a goal you want to meet, of the life you want to live, and then take actionable and reasonable steps to get there. It's like I said with the house example, a lot of these influencers, right, the money comes in, but they're taking too large of a leap. Like my grandma said, if you cannot buy it in cash, in full, you cannot afford it.
Someone pointed out that rich people used to genuinely be terrified of the poor. Like, the thought of the workers striking or protesting or doing anything was terrifying to them, so they didn't flaunt their wealth. But with influencer culture, it's almost like the inverse. Like, they can flaunt all they want because we're sitting here acting like we're gonna get even breadcrumbs of what they have.
I think a lot of y'all need to realize that actors are not as rich as y'all think they are.
He's absolutely right. I remember Taraji P. Henson broke down everything. I don't know what show was it, but she broke down everything from her booking a gig to her giving money to her team, all kinds of stuff. She said that, like, the first movie that she booked, she probably made roughly around maybe like, I think somewhere like $10,000 to like $11,000. And mind you, she was paying for her son's school tuition, all kinds of stuff. So she really didn't get to enjoy that money at all. A lot of celebrities are not that rich, believe it or not. When you Google their net worth, it's literally telling you how much their assets and their properties and investments that they currently have that accumulates to that amount. The net worth doesn't mean anything. What they have in their pocket is completely different. Sometimes it could be less, sometimes it could be more, and you'll be surprised and shocked. That's why a lot of people back in the day used to go super broke fast. Like MC Hammer, Fantasia went broke at one point. TLC was down bad at some point in time. Like, literally, if you hear the news and the stories about how celebrities become broke, just know it's because they don't get paid enough. I remember I was watching the TLC movie and they got paid like something between like, I don't know, like a certain cent to like a certain dollar for an album, each album that they sold. And they didn't even really make that much money off of that album. It's crazy.
So my theory is that a lot of influencers are actually rich before they even became influencers. And so they show this great lifestyle, they get a lot of views, all of these things, make it seem like they made all this money from TikTok or whatever. But really, they either are from like Orange County, have rich parents, got their house given to them, have a husband who has a really good job. Like, not many people make that much money from being an influencer. So I think sometimes people need to stop trying to influence other people to be influencers. Because I know a lot of girls from high school who are from Orange County, whose mommy and daddy bought them a house, whose mommy and daddy give them money, and they portray this life as if they've become like a self-made millionaire, but it's actually that they're still funded by their parents. So it's just something to think about, that just because someone has a lot of followers on TikTok or posts a lot of videos or gets some brand deals doesn't mean they're making 50 grand a month. And there's something to be said about having like a 401k, health insurance, HSA account. Like, there's so many things that you don't factor into when you try and like start to do your own influencing thing. And like, how long term is this going to be? Like, go off and do your influencer thing, but like we've seen with Hub's life, that one guy who like posted about his life at work and then quit his 9 to 5, now everyone hates him. It's just like so interesting to see. There's just so many things that go on behind the TikTok curtain, especially when it comes to like finances, that you just don't think about. Like, it's not everything it appears to be.
You know what gets me every time? People thinking that influencers actually have money. Yes, there are influencers out there who genuinely have money and really come from a good background, like a background of money. But there are influencers who really come from poverty. Like, they come from a rough background. For example, like I come from a really, really rough background. But obviously, poverty, I'll never look like poverty, right? Sharp. But people thinking that we actually have money gets me. Influencers are hustlers, bro. Influencers like rachereza, like we say rachereza. So if I ask you for don't say how you're influencer, you have money. People thinking that we generally have money gets me. Yes, there are influencers out there who actually made it, and there's us who are still trying to make it, right? So don't think that if you go back out there, you think I can actually, if I ask you for 10 rand, I genuinely need that 10 rand because it's rough. You know, influencers are hustlers. We make a plan. We make something out of nothing. So me going to a fancy restaurant, it doesn't mean that I actually spent over 300 on the menu. I probably spent less than 200 rand or less than 100 rand. So you guys seeing us going to these fancy places doesn't really mean that we actually spent money. Most of the time, we probably bought water and just took pictures, and it gave you guys the idea that, oh yeah, she has money. So that's why it goes back to the saying that, so what you see on social media is not real, and I can testify. What you see on media is not real. Literally, there's behind the scenes of every single picture that each and every influencer took. And like a picture or whatever they're getting. So our mission is just to get things for free so that we make our lives easier. We don't want to spend our money on clothes, on makeup, on things, because we're genuinely hustling. Like we feel like our money has to pay other things. So the influencer, the brokest people ever, I feel like we're broke. An influencer is broke. Like, we are generally broke, literally. It's just that we make something work. That's why we call creators. Like, we create everything, right? I could literally go to a place with 50 rand on my bank account, even 00 if I have to, because we make a plan. It doesn't mean I have 10k on my bank account. That's why I feel like some influencers actually lie about their bank accounts. But anyway, as you collab. So me, if you ask me if I have money, I don't have money. I don't have money, but I'll get the money soon. But I'm still trying so hard to get the money that you think I have. So if you think influencers genuinely have money, think about that shit twice. Some actually act like they have money, but actually go to their bank account, nothing, right? So stop thinking that I have money and click. Now if someone thinks I have money, honestly speaking, okay, it just in general, influencers. Like, bro, good.
I am predicting that we're going to start seeing influencer pushback because of the recession and our declining economy. So fun. I want to talk about it as someone who is an influencer and someone who also does brand marketing and someone who also is just existing in this country as well. We're about to enter a time where people do not want to see luxury. They do not want to see hauls. They don't want to see women putting thousands and thousands of dollars into their face or other body parts. It's just going to give tone deaf. And on the other side of that coin, people are also not going to want to see influencers be like, I'm broke, oh my God, like trying to relate to the common folk. That is going to get a very negative perception from their followers and people online. And that's not to say that influencers are necessarily better off than the average working person. It really depends. Some influencers make a ton of money and some make literally $0. And it's tough. You never really know who's who. But I really predict we're going to start seeing less of like aspirational like wealth content because that's just going to piss people off. And we're going to see more kind of like Emma Chamberlain style, like comfort creators, people that are like posting their daily mundane bits of life that are relatable. This kind of reminds me of like Victoria Paris popping off during the pandemic, just making coffee videos and going on walks. I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of that. People are going to want to experience an escape without being reminded of their own financial situation. And that doesn't mean influencers should stop doing brand deals or should stop getting as much income as they can because they're still in this economy as well. But I do think it has to be done in a way that will need to be tasteful, with an emphasis on entertainment over influencing to purchase, you know? Because at the end of the day, influencing is such a female-dominated industry. They are not the villains for trying to make money. But at the same time, I just predict people are going to be a little bit less tolerant of any showing of wealth, you know?
Hey you all, I hope you guys are doing great and thank you for coming back to my channel. So I've been seeing this trend of influencers going broke and I thought I should hop on it, talk about it, or rather do a video people reacting to that. So a lot of influencers are now going to the 9 to 5 jobs. They're now looking for 9 to 5 jobs, sustainable income, or rather consistent income every month, because this influencing thing is doesn't have money, or rather it's inconsistent. Sometimes you in a month you make a lot of money and probably the next 3 4 months nothing. And I realized a lot of people survive on deals. You have to make deals and sponsorship. You have to have like 5 10 in order for you to be able to get by in that month, and which is not sustainable. I feel like now what is it, influencer industry is saturated. A lot of people are influencers, a lot of people are YouTubers, TikTokers, and so on. So it's not always where you're gonna get brand deals and sponsorship. I feel like it's easier maybe if you're in the makeup industry, hair review, and maybe other stuff. But if you're in the industry like gym and what cooking, it's not so much. Hey, not so much. And I think also the SMR, is it SMR? As ASMR industry, yes, you hardly get any brand deals. But I don't know, that's my opinion, that's what I've observed. So yeah, a lot of them, they are now quitting the influencing thingy and going back to 9 to 5 because it is not sustainable. And honestly, it's good. Honestly, it's good. I think I prefer that than them, because most of them end up scamming people, their followers, their subscribers, just so that they can able to keep up with their bills, which is not okay. And also, it's just not a long term strategy. It don't work. The moment your subscribers, your followers turns against you, it's over. So yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and catch you on my next one. Please do subscribe, like, share, do all the amazing stuff, and see you on my next one. Ciao.